A calf is sinking, and 6 tons of desperate mother can't pull it free. In the African savannah, danger strikes without warning. It buries the young, surrounds the herd, and turns open grassland into a killing field in seconds. What these elephants do next reveals why their untamed lives depend on something far more powerful than strength alone. In November 2015, heavy seasonal rains in South Africa's Kruger National Park turned a shallow water hole into a deadly, shoulder-deep mud trap. A newborn calf has slipped and lies trapped on its side, sinking deeper with every movement. Hearing its low-frequency distress rumbles, the mother rushes to the edge and answers with a reassuring rumble. She must act quickly, but raw strength alone cannot solve this problem. The mother carefully shifts her weight, searching for stable ground. Her trunk, a sensitive tool packed with thousands of muscles, wraps around the baby, pulling with immense force. But the thick mud refuses to let go. Changing her strategy, she wedges her heavy tusks beneath the calf's body to gain extra leverage. After several agonizing failed attempts, she levers the calf upward, breaking the mud's suction. The exhausted baby scrambles onto its feet, guided by its mother's gentle nudges toward firmer ground. Without any human help, this pure demonstration of animal cooperation proves how anatomical tools and quick problem-solving beat the savannah's sudden hazards. But survival here requires constant vigilance, especially when the herd must face an even more active threat creeping through the grass. On the open plains of Amboseli, a 61-year-old matriarch leads her family. Her herd consists of 3 adult females, 2 juveniles, and a 2-year-old calf. As they feed, a lone male lion approaches the group. The family is initially scattered, but the matriarch's decades of experience allow her to assess the threat instantly. She emits a low-frequency rumble, a deep vibrating alarm that travels through the air and ground to coordinate her family. Immediately, the scattered elephants tighten their formation. The adult females step into precise positions, forming a defensive half-circle. They face outward, their heavy tusks angled toward the predator. In the very center of this protective wall, the vulnerable young calf is kept safely out of reach. The matriarch steps into the forward position, placing herself directly between the lion and the herd. She spreads her ears wide to increase her apparent size and tucks her trunk close to her chest, signaling a readiness to charge. The lion pauses, staring at the formidable barrier of muscle and bone. Confronted by this organized defense, the predator realizes he is outmatched. He slowly turns and retreats into the brush. With the danger gone, the family relaxes, providing a vital survival lesson for the watching juveniles. Individual rescues require raw strength, but long-term group survival relies on this coordinated defensive cooperation. At a shallow water hole, 2 juvenile calves greet each other with a quick trunk touch before plunging into the water. They tackle, roll in the mud, and chase each other, kicking up spray. Although their mock sparring looks intense, their relaxed ears, bent legs, and open postures show they have no aggressive intent. This high-energy rough and tumble makes up over 70% of their social interactions. It is an active training ground. Through these games, juveniles practice trunk dexterity, build physical strength, and safely test social boundaries. When the sparring gets too intense An older female steps in, gently nudging them apart to regulate the group's energy. What looks like simple fun is actually a low-risk classroom where the Savannah's future giants rehearse the physical and social skills they need to survive. An unfamiliar metallic barrel appears near a regular foraging site, immediately drawing the attention of an adult female. She approaches slowly, pausing a few yards away to raise her trunk, catching scent particles drifting through the dry air. Guided by smell rather than sight, she reaches out, using the thousands of muscles in her trunk to inspect the strange cold container. Her trunk tip, lined with highly sensitive tactile whiskers, maps the smooth curves of the metal. She soon detects food hidden deep inside. With a deliberate, measured nudge, she pushes the heavy barrel, rolling it across the ground until a piece of fruit tumbles out. In subsequent trials, she repeats this action almost immediately, securing the reward every time. While the physical behavior is clear, explaining the underlying cognitive process divides researchers. Some view this rapid success as simple trial and error, where the animal tries random actions until one finally works. Others argue the swift, directed movements suggest memory and conscious planning, where the elephant selects a sequence of actions before seeing the result. Because the footage only captures the physical action, scientists remain cautious, avoiding claims of conscious thought when basic learning could explain the outcome. Regardless of the interpretation, the ease with which these creatures handle new obstacles confirms a remarkably adaptable intelligence. As the dry season parches the Masai Mara, natural water and forage vanish, forcing herds to seek alternative resources. A weakened, low-lying section of an electric fence becomes an easy entry point. Suddenly, a herd of 12 elephants pushes through the barrier, stepping directly into a farmer's mature maize field. This instant fence breach triggers an immediate crisis. For local families, losing this crop threatens their food security and income. For the elephants, entering human territory brings immense stress, risk of injury, and the threat of retaliation. In one Kenyan household survey, 79% of recorded conflicts occurred during these harsh dry season months. Rangers arrive on motorbikes to mediate, deploying non-lethal deterrents. They fire loud firecrackers and burn pungent chili pepper dung to guide the herd back towards safer, protected habitat. Coexistence remains a shared challenge. While wildlife corridors preserve traditional migration paths, communities increasingly deploy early warning mobile alerts and protective beehive fences to safely redirect these hungry giants before they reach the crops. An adult male Savannah bull, weighing approximately 6 tons, slowly approaches a mature, tall acacia tree in search of sustenance. During the dry season, elephants act as ecosystem engineers, reshaping vegetation and access through feeding and movement, creating opportunities for themselves and other animals. On this dry afternoon, the greenest canopy leaves remain far out of reach, and precious moisture is locked far beneath the baked soil, inaccessible to smaller creatures. The bull stops to assess the challenge, studying the angle of the trunk before committing his strength. He begins by pressing his forehead against the rough, weathered bark to test the tree's resistance before committing his full energy. Next, he wraps his muscular, flexible trunk around the lower limbs, trying to violently shake the canopy, and pushes forward with his massive front feet. The strong roots hold firm, and the solid timber does not budge. This first exhausting effort yields nothing but a light shower of dry bark and falling twigs. To overcome this stubborn resistance, the bull must coordinate his head, trunk, tusks, and entire body weight into a single, perfectly focused push. He steps back to adjust his posture, lowering his heavy head and wedging his thick ivory tusks against the wood to secure a stronger, more stable point of leverage. Straining every muscle in his 6-ton frame, he drives his immense bulk forward once again, applying a steady, unrelenting force that channels his entire physical power. The ground begins to tremble under the mounting pressure. With a loud, sharp snap of tearing roots, the ancient wood groans, and the acacia slowly starts to tilt. The bull delivers a final, overwhelming surge of controlled power, sending the tree crashing to the dry earth in a dense cloud of dust. The violent impact shatters the hard soil, instantly exposing moisture-rich roots, revealing hidden water reserves, and creating a clear travel route through the brush. As human worlds collide with the wild, these brilliant giants face their ultimate test of survival. Their unmatched power can reshape landscapes, but their future now depends on coexistence. Can they survive a changing savanna? Share your thoughts below and subscribe.